Saturday Night Live. They, I'd say, broke the mold, at least for American programming, in that the height of the pandemic, they came back right around the time that things in the U.S. were getting bad again. Remember, that happened around last Thanksgiving. We had a spike that you're currently seeing now in other countries like Germany and India and elsewhere in developing areas of the world. And SNL, they had a full audience. They were doing shows in studio. They had I shouldn't say full audience. They had an audience. They had a live audience. It wasn't full capacity. It was all first responders at the time. But everyone was otherwise. They were trying to put the show on as best as they could, as quote unquote normal as it could be. But obviously they were taking risks and chances and precautions. And the first few episodes of this past season of SNL were very awkward because of that. And
other things.
Yeah, they soldiered through it though. They made their way through the season. Things seem to have gotten better gradually, and then yesterday they had their season finale. And I'm just going to say it right off the bat: this was the best episode of Saturday Night Live that has aired, I'd say, in decades.
Holy shit.
I am going out on a limb and saying decades. Absolutely years. I don't think I'll get much pushback if I say years.
Huh.
But
I guess I should watch it.
You should. Yeah, if you just watch the clips on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're letting them do that now?
They pretty much post the whole show on YouTube. They just cut it up into different segments.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
You can literally watch every segment and then every musical performance, weekend updates, all up there. So
sweet.
Do you watch SNL, Nate?
Admittedly, no. When somebody's like, this amazing thing happens, I'll watch the clip. But yeah, I don't really watch it.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's fine. There's been several episodes in recent seasons that I've just turned off halfway through because they just weren't good.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, they had Elon Musk host, and that was very controversial because it's Elon Musk. But also, I mean, it wasn't a bad episode. It wasn't. Oh, I'm sorry. I just muted myself. It wasn't a bad episode. It just, it wasn't standout. Now, the one they did last night, the season finale, Anya Taylor-Joy hosted, and Lil Nas X was the musical guest. And they were firing on all cylinders. I think for some cast members, it's been unconfirmed that Cecily Strong and Pete Davidson are leaving, and Kate McKinnon, who the end of every season, it's rumored she's going to leave, and then she shows up next. It's just like Kenan Thompson, same thing. People say like, oh, it's their last season, and they show up in the next one.
I can't believe how long he's done it for.
He's officially the longest running cast member.
That's crazy, because like all that.
Right?
It's so cool.
And all that, that was, SNL for kids. And
yeah.
He went to, I remember watching his first episode. I remember when he started in his very first episode, and it was really exciting. I didn't know he was going to SNL. I was really excited to see him join the cast. But
he was made for it.
And he's great.
He's so good.
Everything he does on SNL is great. He actually broke a couple weeks ago with Keegan-Michael Key. That wasn't a bad episode. With Keegan, that one wasn't bad. Yeah. But he actually broke during a Muppets segment that they were doing, and Kenan never breaks.
You have to, though, for the Muppets, right?
For that one, yeah. It didn't help that Keegan was there kind of egging him on. But the last time I remember Kenan breaking was they're doing a What's Up With That sketch with Samuel L. Jackson. And Sam Jackson swore. And it threw Kenan off, and he's like, "Oh man, that costs money. You can't say that." But you could tell him that one broke him just because, someone swore he wasn't expecting it. But
yeah.
So there was that. There was the anticipation that several cast members are leaving after last night. But again, going back to normalcy, the sign of the times finally wrapping up for the first time since last March. They had a full studio audience. Everyone was masked up, but there was every seat was filled.
That's
and
awesome.
they didn't distance or anything. Every seat was filled, and they confirmed that everyone who was there was fully vaccinated. And it was like 90, I'd say like 90% close to being pre-pandemic. The only thing that could have made it better, and I'm not counting masks. I don't care if people wear masks for the rest of their lives. The band, the SNL band, is still split up, and they have like half the band in an adjacent studio, and the rest of the band is in the main studio. Once they get the whole band back together,
that's official.
It. You're 100%. You're back to Daniel Craig hosting and promoting a movie that has yet to come out.
Yep.
Because that was the last episode that they did before the pandemic started. He was there to promote No Time to Die, because it was supposed to come out like late March. It still hasn't come out yet.
Oh my God. I forgot about that.
It kept getting delayed. I will laugh. I will laugh if they bring him back to host again so he can try to promote the movie again.
That would be great.
Because John Krasinski was there. He was supposed to host after Daniel Craig, I believe. And that episode was canceled because the lockdown started. And then they finished out the season doing like remote shows at home like everyone was doing. And he was there I think he was there to promote A Quiet Place Part 2.
Yep.
And he finally got to host a few weeks ago, or a few months or a few weeks ago, to promote A Quiet Place Part 2. So it seems like a lot of these people. It's finally coming out. Yeah, it's coming out next week. I might actually go to the theater to see it.
Oh, damn.
This would be my first time in the theater since pre-pandemic, and the last movie I saw in the theater was Sonic the Hedgehog.
Wow.
So
last movie I saw was Joker.
Okay, yeah, it was 2019, but that was like late 2019. That was like fall 2019.
Yeah.
And I don't go to. I honestly, I was really only going to the movies for the Marvel entries. So, and I liked the first Quiet Place movie.
Yeah, it was good.
But I don't do horror. I don't know about you.
I don't really like it, and a lot of people are like, "You love comedy, so you must love horror." And I'm like, I don't know what the connection is there, but
yeah. What?
Yeah, I didn't. I was like, thank you. I'm glad that you are agreeing with me. I was like, okay.
Yeah. What?
I'm sure it will make sense someday, but I was like, no, I don't really like being stressed out.
Unless you're talking like comedy horror, like with Jordan Peele, like his movies, or Idle Hands. Have you seen that?
I have not.
Starring Tom DeLonge.
There's a movie with him?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Idle Hands, it came out in the 90s, and it's you know, in the 90s they had like sort of that craze with comedy horror movies like Scary Movie, Scream. Idle Hands came out around that time. It's Devon Sawa and I believe Jessica Alba, and he's like, his hands are literally cursed. And you know, they've gone sentient, and he at one point he cuts his hand off to try to, you know, lift the curse, and then the hand is just now doing its own thing on its own. But Tom DeLonge has like a 5-second bit roll in it, playing a drive-through.
That's awesome.
Drive-through guy, yeah.
I got to see that. But yeah, I usually don't watch, but I watched Quiet Place.
Yeah, it's great.
I did. It was cool.
It's great. Fun. It's a great movie. It's an innovative movie.
Yeah.
And so part 2 looks great. Emily Blunt, I mean, she's a smoke show.
Yeah.
She's a smoke show, but like when you look at her, she just she just strikes me as one of those people that you have to talk to realize that she's actually like funny, you know? Like you're not gonna see that like right off the bat. If you just like sit down, you start talking to her, you see like even just like still images, but like when she does interviews, she's hilarious.
I have to check that out. I haven't seen much of her except for I saw A Quiet Place, but she wasn't really funny.
Oh, yeah, Quiet Place, hilarious movie.
Yeah.
Deaf people, am I right?
Yeah.
Watch some of her interviews with like Jimmy Fallon or like Jonathan Ross, because she's, you know, she's one of those people like once she gets going, she's really funny. So, yeah, I might go to the theater for that. Might go to the theater to see Quiet Place Part 2.
It sounds like fun to go to a theater.
Is there anything? So I know you especially have been, you know, taking it easy with re-emerging into the world since the pandemic. And it's not just pandemic, because the pollen has also been really bad too.
Yeah, before we started this thing, I told them that I've been wearing a mask just for the pollen. It's just unreal.
It's awful, dude.
It's so yellow out there.
I've been having to get my car washed like every few days, 'cause every time I go out there, and it's just covered in a solid inch of pollen. Like if I do not, because I'm not driving every day.
Yeah.
And if I go out, even just to like, if I do a Target run, or if I go to the supermarket or something, as long as I'm like getting in my car and driving daily, I'm fine. But if I let my car sit for more than a 24-hour period, it will be a nice shade of piss yellow because of the pollen.
I'm right underneath a tree. That's my parking spot. Awesome.
Oh, Jesus. I got the trees that I had in front of the house all got torn down. Thankfully.
Yeah, that weirded me out. I was like, is this the right place? Because I haven't been here in so long.
Yeah, but your car won't get carpet bombed now, though.
Yeah, it's great. I love that.
Or if it does, hopefully it will be a little less intense as it's previously been. I always told people, don't park in that spot, because your car's going to you're going to come out and it's just going to be a shade of white. No matter what color your car is, it will be white. If your car is already white, it will be whiter.
It'll be white.
Because it'll just be covered in bird shit.
Yeah.
So hopefully not anymore. But
dude, birds are crazy. Like, how do they sometimes they do that on purpose, right? They have to.
I think they are a lot smarter than we give them credit for.
Yeah. Like they aim.
They do. And they know. They know when you're washing your car.
Yeah. I was driving home from getting my allergy shots, and a bird got me while I was driving. It just like all over the windshield. And I wasn't even mad. I was like, that's amazing.
Have you ever been out somewhere and have a bird shit on you?
Close, but no.
Okay. Mike Terrara and I were waiting in line for Nine Inch Nails tickets that we ultimately didn't get. It was a couple of years ago. They were touring with Jesus and Mary Chain. They were going to play at where were they going to play? I think like the Orpheum? They're playing like a venue that is too small for both Nine Inch Nails and the Jesus and Mary Chain. But in order to get tickets, like Trent Reznor doing his I don't like Ticketmaster shtick, and you could only buy the tickets in person at the venue. So we were waiting in line. We waited in line for God, I don't know how many hours before we said fuck it, because I think they sold out eventually, and we ultimately weren't able to get tickets. But we were just shooting the shit with some people who were there in the line with us. And all of a sudden, a bird just flew by and just had explosive D all over this chick.
Oh.
She just got, like, it was like bird bukkake.
Oh,
it was bad. I felt so bad for her. And, like, it was drizzling out. So you kind of had that advantage.
yeah.
But.
Not enough.
Right. And people were, like, bringing over, like, Dunkin' Donuts napkins and trying to help her out. Boy, I felt bad for her. So
That's not winning. Everybody's like, "Oh, that's good luck." Fuck that.
how is that good luck?
Okay? I agree. Some people are like, "Oh, because like maybe it's just a joke." It's like, because what are the odds?
Right.
Or people trying to be positive when they should just shut the fuck up.
It's just like how comedy and horror somehow mix.
Yeah, I don't.
Learning a lot of things in this episode.
I'll figure that out, and I'll come back to that at some point. I don't understand that. I guess because like you love laughing, so you love screaming, or
because
like polar opposites, like
Yeah, I do both of those regularly.
Yeah, all the time.
Well, Saturday Night Live, as I mentioned, Anya Taylor-Joy hosted, Lil Nas X performed, and because it was the season finale of Saturday Night Live, something that Michael Che and Colin Jost, the Weekend Update hosts do. They do it for around Christmas time, but they also do it at the end of every season is joke swap. They write jokes for one another.
That sounds fun.
I'm going to say dangerous.
Okay.
It's dangerous. It's because Michael Che is African American, Colin Jost is a white man.
I see what you're talking. Yeah.
Yeah, the humor is can be a bit controversial, if you will. So now I don't have the whole thing here. I instead have the moment that I determined that last night's SNL was officially the best one that I had watched in years because of these two jokes. Colin Jost delivering two jokes that Michael Che wrote for him. Here we go.
Warner Brothers is producing a new movie in which Superman is black. And a black Superman actually makes a lot of sense when you remember that Superman was abandoned by his parents as a baby. Well, I knew you'd like that one, so here's another one. Warner Brothers is producing a new movie in which Superman is black. In this version, black Superman's kryptonite is an honest day's work.
Wow.
Oh my God. I was hurting last night at that.
That's great.
And I really want to know who would get offended at that.
It's comedy.
Right?
I'm just, yeah. I could go on. We could have a whole show about how I feel about cancel culture.
And that's like Michael Che's like whole thing. He's like, he says it in jest, but he's like, I'm trying to get Colin Jost canceled.
Yeah.
So he's just the jokes he writes for him. And again, they only do this like once or twice a season, but the jokes that he writes for him are intentionally like incredibly racist.
Whoa there, Jumper. Yeah, I forgot there was a dog here.
Do you scare you?
A little bit. Cause like I'm not used to animals.
It just appeared out of nowhere.
Just out of nowhere.
He's being good.
He was attacking me.
Just chilling out.
Yeah,
he's
chill.
He was sleeping.
Yeah.
That's what I love about him is he's finally at the age that he's at now because he's almost 5 years old. He's like, I did give him. They're made for dogs. They're like THC treats or like not THC. Like hemp. Like I call them pot cookies.
Oh, okay.
I literally call them pot cookies. But I gave him one, and those are supposed to calm him down. So it's like catnip for dogs, basically. But also, yeah, he's finally at an age now where he's like tame and
yeah,
you know, like I can do things, and he'll just kind of sit and just hang out. He's not bouncing all over the place. Yeah, it's so much better.
He's a good boy.
So much better than having a human child. Oh my God. That's just, I love it when he does that. That's just adorable.
Is that on? Do we have that? Is it on?
Oh, it's prominently in frame right now.
Oh, sweet.
on your camera. Yeah. So,
awesome.
Oh, I'm just gonna watch. We're just gonna post this clip and only this clip. Oh, I looked at him, so now I have his attention. I'm gonna post that clip and only that clip to our YouTube channel, hardlyfocused.com/YouTube. Quickly, Lil Nas X was performing last night. He is the Old Town Road guy. And then the other songs he performed it's one of those guys that I realized I didn't realize I'd heard his music before. And then he performed. I'm like, hey, I know these songs. I didn't realize this was Lil Nas X.
I don't think I know. Or I might have that moment later.
Right. But I couldn't tell you what they were called, though. Besides Old Town Road. And the only one I know of his is Old Town Road. And I think that's because there's a music video. There's a couple different music videos for it, and one of them is done entirely in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Well, that's cool.
So he was performing last night, and I think it was during his first performance. And I don't know if he's the first like openly gay African American performer on SNL. For like as a musical performer. I'm not.
Yeah, I can't think of.
But he definitely, what he was doing has never been done on SNL before, because there were like male strippers all over the stage, and he had like a stripper pole, and Lil Nas X got up on the pole and was pole dancing at one point, and he was only wearing a set of skin tight leather pants, and his pants ripped.
Oh shit!
Right in the crotchal region.
Perfect.
And he looked right at the camera with a big smile on his face, and then just covered his crotch with one hand for the rest of the performance, Michael Jackson style.
Awesome.
So I have audio here from when he ripped his pants. This is what he was singing when this happened. Now, you wouldn't think that audio of someone's pants ripping would be worthy of playing back on on a podcast or a radio show, but believe it or not, it is. So here we go. Lil Nas X ripping his pants on Saturday Night Live.
I thought that I had everybody on my side, but I went and blew it all sky high. And now she won't even spare a passing glance. All just because I ripped my pants.
When Big Larry came round just to put him down,
Lil Nas X
turned into a clown. And no girl ever wants to dance with a fool who went and ripped his pants. I know I shouldn't mope around, I shouldn't curse, but the pain feels so much worse. Cause winding up with no one is a lot less fun than a burn from the sun or sand in your bones. Now I learned a lesson I won't soon forget. So listen and you won't regret. Be true to yourself, don't miss your chance, and you won't end up like the fool who ripped his pants.
I have heard one of his songs.
I love at the beginning where he's like, I knew it.